I think women can see a future that men cannot. They can see a good in things that men cannot. They can find hope even in utterly improbable circumstances. They can still see something good. And I've always admired and cherished this. Like, this was always something that deeply moved me because I'm incapable of seeing it. And part of it is because of, the natural way of things, and part of it is because of the rather extreme life experiences I've had. But I believe because women bear children and they have to be able to see a future for that child, they have to be able to see something good for that child, that it allows them to see the world in a magical way to me. And like for most of my life, I've never been able to figure out why humanity didn't kill itself off thousands of years ago. Like, humanity seems so vicious and cruel and always prone to murder and violence and ugliness. Like, I couldn't understand how it went on. Why didn't the humans all kill each other off? Because, like, violence and ugliness surrounds me, and it's the way I tend to view things. So, like, to an extent, guys are prone towards thinking that way, like I said, and to an extent, my experiences are overwhelmingly negative. So I see things that way, and I am relatively hardline about it. But what women can see always moved me. And I think this is very important, this type of what I describe as magical thinking, because I asked myself a long time ago, like, could you have a child? And I don't mean get a woman pregnant. I mean, could I have a child? And the answer is absolutely not. Like, the way I see things, I could not take a person I love and like bring them into this. Like, it's so vulgar. But my viewpoint is extremely limited. That's not all there is, because if what I believed was true, humanity would have killed itself off, and it obviously hasn't. Like, life goes on, and there's all kinds of positive things that I am completely oblivious to and don't really put much weight behind, and just either ignore or skip over completely because that's not where my focus is. So I do think this is important. Like, I know in the modern world they tell us like men and women are the same all the time. Like, I will never be with that. I'm totally cool with the idea of like treating men and women equally, largely, and like everyone should do what they feel. um like, on an individual level, you should do what you feel. That is, there are social conventions, there are the natural order of things, but because of people's experiences in life, you can feel very different than that. And obviously, in my own life, I am out of sync with the natural order in many ways. And there's nothing wrong with that, provided I can find someone that feels a similar way about things. Um, like, I've used the example in relationships frequently. The woman is in charge of most relationship aspects because I have no comprehension of it. It doesn't mean anything to me. I have no handles to put on that, so I'm willing to listen to her because she understands it and cares about it in a way I do not. I don't care about what we're gonna eat. I don't care about what we're gonna watch. I don't care about where we're gonna go, like, unless it's someplace dangerous. But Um, I am there to be with her. And so whatever she wants to do, like that's great. I'm happy to do that. Um, it so, but in general, like, and from what women have told me in being in relationships with me, they want me to decide that stuff. Like, what do you want to do? Eat tuna out of a can again for the 40th day in a row? Like, you want to have the bag of vegetables in the morning for breakfast? Because that's what I eat every morning. And let me tell you, the asparagus, corn, white corn, carrot combination, that is the Cadillac of bagged vegetables right there. That's what you want to eat. You don't want none of that mixed vegetables with those peas and green beans. Mm-mm. You want to get yourself the corn, white corn, asparagus, carrots. Okay, this isn't about that. This is not about that. But the the way women can see things, I think this is a good thing. Like, and I see a lot of stuff in the modern world where women are downed on for seeing hope in things. And I do think like this can be taken too far. Helping can be hurting at a certain point. I remember when I was a little kid, there was a story. I don't know where it comes from, but this kid watched the caterpillar make its cocoon. And then, when the thing was trying to get out as a butterfly, the kid opened the cocoon for the butterfly, and the butterfly just falls to the ground and dies because the butterfly needs to strengthen its wings to open the cocoon so it can fly. I don't know if that's true or not, but in the story, that's what happened. And the moral of the story is sometimes if you're trying to help, if you go too far, it can end up helping can be hurting. And that is an important thing to always remember. Extremes should always be approached with caution because it is very much out of sync with things. And humans are very much already out of the natural order of things. Our lives have very little to do with the natural way of things. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing because, as I said before, most of nature seems to be trauma and post-traumatic stress when you look at it. Like it looks to be like a horribly violent place. People are eaten alive. You're hiding, hearing the screams of something like one of your siblings being eaten alive. That's gonna leave a mark on you. You know, that's not gonna be something you get over real easy. So I I will always side with caution when it comes to extremes. But on an individual level, some people do live in extremes. So, I mean, you have to know yourself. There's no way around that. Um, but I, I do think that we should follow some of this, and you have to make that decision for yourself. But I do love the fact that women can see something I cannot. And I think people should take heed and listen to it, not just laugh at it and call it stupid. That's arrogance. Like, the idea of wanting a better world and being able to see a better world, like, that's a good thing that allows humanity to continue. And like I said, I can't even imagine it. I can't see a better world. But when I listen to women talk about it, I can get an idea of what they're saying, and it allows me to see something that I otherwise couldn't see. And I think that's a good thing. Um, I don't put a lot of stock into all this stuff on the internet and so forth because I don't think any of it's real, and I don't think if you don't interact with it in your real life, the it's like the Cosby Show. It's like Married with Children. It's like Looney Tunes. It's fake. It's not real. They pretend it's real to get people riled up and get people to put their emotions into stuff. And part of me does wonder if like there's so many people living in our world that like they need these kinds of things as like a pressure release valve on emotion. Otherwise, people would be getting violent and attacking each other and stuff because violent crime has gone down since the 70s, and people used to be much more violent and prone to violence much quicker. Um, this isn't about that. This is not about that. I'm sorry. I get distracted very easily. So, women being able to see a better world is a good thing and something that should be heard. Um, you know, take it for what it's worth, I guess.